everyone, this is Phoebe from Street Style Surgery. I hope you're good. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really simple macrame hanger. So the materials we'll need are some string or rope, either a jar or a plant pot, some scissors, some tape and a ruler. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out 8 pieces of string. So using your ruler, you're going to measure them out to 90 centimetres. So this is a 30 centimetre ruler, so it's quite nice and easy. It means you just have to go down to the 30 centimetre, then back up again, and then back down again. And then cut it off at the end. And then if you line those ends up and just pull it out and use the first piece you've cut as your template, and then you can carry on and cut another 7 pieces off of your ball of string. I've cut 6 other bits earlier, so now I've got my 8 pieces. So what I'm going to do first is line up the ends all together. And then I'm going to tie a knot. Just a little bit away from the end, so it's easy enough to tie. It's not too far in. You can always cut it off later if you tie the knot too far from the end. And then you want to make sure this is really tight. So just pull it, maybe pull each one individually, just to make sure you've got the knot really tight. Right, so now we can start making our macrame pattern. So the first thing to do is to tie the end bit onto the table. Tape it onto the table. It's just going to make it a little bit easier so it doesn't slide around. Alternatively, ask someone else to hold this bit, that works well too. So then you're going to split each of the strings into pairs, so 4 pairs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to be making this one for my jar, so I want to tie the knots quite close together because I don't want the jar to slip out from the side. So if we're doing this one for the jar, then we're going to tie our knots about 3 centimetres apart. If we're doing it for a plant pot, more like 7 centimetres. That's just a guide, and you can play with it. You can experiment with tying them in different places. The way I'm going to tie my knots is just by doing a really simple one. So you make a loop and then put the end through the loop and then tie it really tight. And that's it, and I'm going to go around and do the same thing on each one of my pairs at the same height, so 3 centimetres. On all 4 of my pairs. There we go. So the next thing we do is we're going to tie the next ring of knots in a different way. So each of your pairs, you want to separate the two bits and then tie one of them to one of the two strings that's next to it. So I'm separating the pairs on this one and on this one next to it, and then I'm going to tie these two together. And I'm going to tie them again 3 centimeters away from the last knot. There we go, and then you just carry on going round the circle, tying them in the same way all the way around. So separating the pair and tying the two that are next to each other together. As I said at the beginning, you can use rope or string for this, and you can use all sorts of different colours. They look really nice in bright colours. I'm just using this green string, but yeah, you can do them in all sorts of bright colours. So I've just done that all the way around. The last one. Now you can start to see how it's going to work, how the jar is going to sit inside like that. So I'm going to go around and do it again. Tie another layer. So you just do the exact same thing again. Go around to each pair and separate them. Separate two next to each other and then tie them together. Again, about 3 centimeters away from the knots you've tied before. And then you just go around and do that for the whole circle. Got first knot, the second knot. Third. And the fourth. If you need to keep on using the ruler to check you're doing it the right amount, to check you're still doing them 3 centimeters apart, then you do. I'm just doing it by eye, but you can carry on using the ruler if it's easier. So I'm just going to test it out again and see how big it is, whether that's enough. I think that's actually perfect for this size jar. If it's a bigger jar you're using or a bigger plant pot, then you can carry on tying in the same way over and over again, but this looks perfect. So now we've done that bit, we can leave it with the strings like that and then just tie a knot at the top, but we could also put some more knots into each of these pairs of string to add a bit more decoration. So I'm just going to show you some options for that. So we've got this option, which is really simple. You just make a 4 shape with one string pulled down, the other string you loop over the top of the bottom, the one that's underneath, and then pass that end through the back of the loop and then pull it tight, and you just carry on doing that, and it just makes this kind of knotted weavelet. This option is really simple. You just tie a series of knots, but they're not tied tight, they can still slip around. They're just the initial knot that you would use when you're tying your shoelaces. So just that simple one. So crossed over, and then the one that's underneath goes through the top. And then you just don't pull it tight, just pull it to there and then move on to the next one. So it looks a bit like a ladder kind of. That's another option. And then this one is just tying knots, leaving a little distance, tying a knot, kind of like we've been doing already. So each of those could be an option for decorating the tops of the strings that you've got on your jar here. But if you want to just leave it like this, then that also looks really nice. So obviously you just unstick it and then it's ready to hang somewhere. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this how-to, and I hope some of you get a chance to make your own macrame hangers. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.